Shalom, friends. This is Daniel again with Blessed Israel Network, and this is another episode of My View as a Jew. Question: have you ever noticed how liberal Jews tend to be? Have you ever wondered why Jews tend to be so liberal? Why they're always voting for these causes which are absolutely foursquare against what we believers would vote for? Did you notice, or did you know how many voted for Barack Obama in 2008? 79% voted for him in 2008. And a full 70% didn't learn their lesson and voted for him again in 2012, in spite of the fact that Barack Obama was and remains the most anti-Israel president in the history of the United States. I mean, he left no doubt about it. And yet, 79% of U.S. Jews voted for him, and another 70 voted for him again in 2012. Why? Why are they so liberal? Why are they always, or for the most part, at the leading edge of civil rights issues and civil liberties issues and so on and so forth? Why are so few of them conservative? Well, let me share what I believe may be a possible contributing factor. Who has history blamed, for the most part, for the death of Jesus, Yeshua? The Jews. The Jews have been typically seen as humanity's scapegoat. The term Christ killers, where did that come from? Even though I believe, at least I hope, most of you watching this know that it was not the Jews who were responsible for killing Jesus, Yeshua. Thousands of them were following him. Thousands of them believed in him. No, this was a conspiracy between the Sadducees and some of the Pharisees and Rome to get rid of him. And yet, far too many Christians have propagated the belief that the Jews have been responsible for the death of Jesus. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was made to believe that I was responsible for the death of the Son of God, that would weigh very heavily on me. I would have some real challenges feeling good about myself. I mean, I'm part of a group of people that the bulk of my fellow citizens feel I'm responsible for the death of the Son of God. I can't reconcile that. It weighs heavily on me. It's very disturbing. Well, not only have Jews primarily been blamed for the death of Jesus, but throughout history, humanity has treated the Jewish people so badly, which we talked about in another episode of My View as a Jew, but all the different laws and rules that were passed against Jews and how countries kicked them out and have discriminated against them, and Nazis and the Holocaust and on and on and on and on. Trust me when I tell you, this over a period of centuries, I believe, can have a collective impact of developing a persecution complex on the Jewish people. I mean, I certainly would feel very low about myself if I was brought up and heard time and time again all these hateful statements and that I'm responsible for the death of the Son of God. I just can't get past that. So, this, I believe, has had a very damaging effect on the collective psyche of the Jewish people throughout history. So, what do? Well, they take steps to try and ensure that they will not be blamed for being this kind of hateful person, that they will not be blamed for being discriminating against others, that they will not be blamed for being labeled as racist or what have you. So what do the Jewish people do? They go to the opposite direction. They become liberal. They become inclusive. Think about it for a moment. If you were a Jew who was brought up, made to feel as though that you were responsible for the death of the Son of God, and you've lived for all of your life and historically been shown that you are amongst a group of people that have been hated left, right, and center, overwhelmingly, for the most part, by Christians, wouldn't you want to make sure that you didn't give them any reason to dislike you? Wouldn't it be a natural reaction? Well, this is exactly what I believe has happened. And so consequently, you find Jews at the leading edge of civil liberties issues, the leading edge of human rights issues, running Hollywood, which is notorious for having overwhelmingly liberal views, voting for Democratic candidates, approving abortion, coming out against Israel and its quote-unquote occupation, if you will, of the so-called West Bank. I mean, there are Jews, not only in the United States, but right here in Israel, that fully believe that we need to give the land to the Palestinians. And once we do that, they will be our friends. And I hate to tell you, but that's not going to happen. If you ask the average Jew in the United States, or even here in Israel, do you want to be who God called you to be? Do you want to be a light to the nations? Do you want to be a nation of priests? The average Jewish person in the U.S. and here in Israel will tell you, no, we're not interested in being God's chosen people. We're not interested in being a light to the nations. Look what 2,000 years of history has gotten us. We are the most discriminated and hated people ever. So no thank you. I'm not interested in being God's chosen people. I'm not interested in being a light to the nations. I want to assimilate. I want to be like everyone else, thank you very much. So don't remind me that I'm distinctive and unique among all the peoples of the world and part of and God's chosen people. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want the mantle. I want to be just like everyone else. And you know, most of the Jews here in Israel feel just the same way. I don't know if you know this or not, but the single most gay-friendly city in the entire world is Tel Aviv. And it may shock you to know that even Jerusalem has gay pride parades. Yes. So the average Jewish person is liberal, and I don't know if you've ever really thought about why they have become so liberal, but I believe, for the most part, it's because 2,000 years of discrimination has sent a very strong message deep into the Jewish psyche, which tells them they don't want to be accused of doing to anyone else what's been done to them. So they go the other way and they become liberal. Anyway, that's my view about it. My view as a Jew. Well, I hope this may have shed some light on this topic. You know, I could be completely nuts as far as some folks are concerned, but that's something that I believe does bear relevance as far as the liberal Jewish psyche is concerned. So thanks for watching. If this interests you and you got blessed by this or any other messages from myself or my wife, please visit our website, send us your comments, drop us a note, get on our mailing list, and if you feel led, please consider supporting our ministry. God bless you for now.